I've got another Stage 2 deck for you. This time it's double Blastoise. Together they're pretty strong. Too bad I can't get a second type of Squirtle out so that I have more basics. As for what this does, Solid Shell, 30 less damage. Rocket Splash, 60 times the number of energy returned to the deck. Since you're returning energy to the deck, you can never deck out. Stack that 30 damage reduction with Choice Helmet. You take 60 less damage from a GX. You could probably fit in a weakness policy or two, but there's not very many grass decks running around at the moment. How you charge up the energy to attack with Blastoise-gx? Regular Blastoise. Peek at your top 6 cards, put energy into your hand. Meganium, very vital for my variant of Blastoise, Quick Ripening Herb with Acerola. Acerola, if my Blastoise gets injured and I can't heal it up, add him back to my hand, play him down, evolve. Thank you, Meganium. You also have the Lusamine loop, so that you can always loop Acerola back into your hand. Max Potion for when you have to play a Lusamine rather than a Acerola. And Cynthia, draw supporter. Swampert, draw support. Timer Ball, extra support. Brooklet Hill, search out your Vulpix, then search out your Squirtle and your Mudkip. This Squirtle, if I happen to lead it and I get Brooklet Hill, I can use Floating Shell and retreat into the Vulpix I search out. One Wartortle that takes 20 less damage from attacks, just so that I can have a little more defense. I chose the 70 HP Wartortle with minus 20 damage, so that things like Tapu Koko with, I think it's Flying Flip, can't hurt me. And of course, Vulpix and Ninetales to get your Pokemon and your items. Item can be 2 rare candies, a rare candy and a Timer Ball. And also Choice Helmet. This took me a bit, but one, if you want Squirtle Retreat, you need to have a stadium that you control. Therefore, I added a 5th and 6th stadium. 2, if something requires reducing or a specific number of retreat costs, such as escape board or buff padding, you can negate that with this. Not to mention, you're a stage 2 deck generally, so you don't have to worry about the negative effects of the retreat cost. Even on Squirtle, making it 0 makes this 0 as well. I got a Brock's Grit, just in case I have to discard energies, just in case a Blastoise goes down. And that's the deck. Let's get into battles. All 3 of these matches are going to be sped up for time constraints. And I'm sorry if there's no background audio from the game. Not only does it not sound as good sped up, but I also forgot to turn off my microphone during recording for this, my on-computer microphone. So you hear a lot of clacking, background noise. I was watching a bit of TV with 1 or 2 of these. It's an issue. This first deck is a spread damage deck. Led off with a counter energy on the Buzzwole. Probably wanted to hold on to that. Here's Mount Lanakila. Vulpix does not have to worry about retreating. I don't mind if it goes down, even as a Ninetales. I have the Swampert in my hand, as well as a rare candy, and Chikorita on the bench. So I figured, hey, just go for the draws early. I see the Fairy Tapu Lele, and I know that this is a spread damage deck, even without that Tapu Koko. If I get too much damage on my field, he can knock out my Meganiums, he can knock out my Blastoises, bypassing the minus 30 damage. Rare Candy up the Meganium. Meganium herbs up the Swampert. Swampert power draws. I decided to discard Acerola since it's easier for me to recover, and I draw another Acerola. Time for me to beacon. If I was smarter, I probably would have grabbed another Vulpix to be safe. But here we go. I decided to get the offensive Blastoise out first, since I can have 3 energy in my hand to attach to it while I get the other Blastoise. And here's Coughing. Coughing. Really good if I'm already injured as Wheezing, and better against basics. But since I can never keep a basic down, that's an issue. Power Draw, discard another water. Timer Ball, I got 1 heads. Let me grab the other Blastoise. I did get the Brooklet Hill, but the thing is, Mount Lanakila is preventing him from retreating, since the escape board makes his retreat cost 1, but Mount Lanakila makes it 2. Okay, now he can retreat if he wants, since he has rainbow energy, but something tells me he's gonna fight. Titan Liza for a shuffle and a new hand. And he decides to Sledgehammer, and he tried to hit the Blastoise. I know because that... Wait, sorry. Sledgehammer, does that only hit the... Yeah, I think it's the one that deals extra damage if you have 4 prizes remaining. I thought it was one that also sniped the bench. I was wrong. Sorry. Got excited there. Now, like I said, I don't care if Vulpix goes down, but this was an easy way to get the combo started. I rarely use the GX, but since I had 3 in my hand, I decided to play them down. He retreats into Ditto for Weavile, Rule of Evil. Rule of Evil will hit everybody for 60 except for the blastoise-gx for 30. This is going to be bad. Because that would be 60, 20, 180, 210 damage on the field. I'm in trouble. Powerful Squall tried to get rid of energy from the draw. I got 2 Acerola in the discard. Let me get them back with 1 Lusamine. I decided to play down my Squirtle early. Probably a bad move. I need 2 water energy in order to take out this Weavile, and I know Blastoise will survive for a bit. Switches in the 0 retreat Tapu Koko. But technically 1 retreat with the Stadium. Double colorless energy. He can hit everyone for 20, except the active Blastoise-gx, who gets no damage. He forced a switch onto me, getting the Meganium out. Pretty good move. Shrine of Punishment. Damage is stacking up. This is bad. I have a rare candy in my hand, so I Acerola back to Chikorita. I max potion the Blastoise, since I definitely don't want that to go down. Play an energy, Powerful Squall. Still gets nothing. Power Draw. I don't need these Vulpix. Got a second rare candy and extra energy. But since I have that second rare candy, I decided to get out another Blastoise, see if I can double in. And then I realized that I made a mistake playing that Squirtle so early, because now I can't. I'm going to lose it to the Weavile. Rocket Splash. I decide to not use up Blastoise-gx. I'm kind of breaking the combo. But I need the back line healthy, not the front. Weavile, is that triple acceleration energy? Pretty good. And now I see the Lele. This is the danger zone. He could take a lot of prizes with the counter energy. Grabs back his Tapu Koko. Titan Liza. Shrine of Punishment again. And there's his first prize with that Squirtle. I now have 20 cards in deck. Total of 14 energy. I think 3 are in the discard. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There should be 7 in my deck. I Acerola to stay healthy. Play an energy down. Powerful Squall. I grab 2. Powerful Squall. Grab none. power draw. I don't need these Vulpix anymore. Got a max potion. Let's heal up that other Blastoise. And I go from having lots of damage on my bench to having just 80. He can't knock anything out with that Lele even if he wanted to. Coco's back in. Shrine of Punishment is back in. Great. I thought I saw a message here, but I forgot what it was. I really considered playing the Cynthia first, but I wanted to try to get energy out of my deck before I put energy into my deck. $20, $40, $60, $80. I now have 170 HP on the field. Bit of an issue. $170 can knock out any of these non-GX. And I'm kind of surprised that I'm not Acerola or Max Potion the Blastoise-gx. But then again, he's dealing so little damage and he's not in a range to one-shot me yet. I see another Weavile coming down. That could be an issue. Wheezing is getting some support. I just decided to go all out. And victory. Up next, oh yeah, Psychic Tag. He's running the MukMuk or MukTag and the MimiGar. Sounds better than GameCube. Unless you like the GameCube as much as I did for a bit. There's Jirachi. There's the Inkay. I know this is a Malamar deck, likely going to run Giratina. And this is part of why I had to speed up all these matches. Sometimes I took time. Sometimes my opponent takes time. Sometimes my internet is a bit slow, so that takes even more time. Active Inkay. I wondered about that. But Brooklet Hill, Timer Ball, nothing. Get out the Squirrel. I do have the Blastoise-gx in hand. Beacon. I can manually evolve if I want. And I can get out Chikorita if I want. Next turn, I can just search for a regular Blastoise and a Ninetales. And that will guarantee I can get up Meganium, Blastoise-gx, and if I keep Brooklet Hill, regular Blastoise. There's the MimiGar, hand attachment. Grave attachment, Guzma, bring in the Squirtle. Good call, good move. I could replace Brooklet Hill with Mountain Lanakila, but I wanted to be super safe. Or is it Lanakila? It's been a while since I've been to Hawaii and learned pronunciations. Erica's Hospitality from the opponent. Draw 4 cards. And I still have only the 50 in my hand. I was expecting him to use his GX attack. Especially considering how low he's getting his hand right now. If he has a full charge on that tag GX, he can give me extra cards. He can give him a full hand. And with a full hand of my own, he's dealing extra damage. But nope. He wants more items that way. So I Brooklet Hill for the other Squirtle, since I can do it. I grab 2 rare candy, But then I decide, nope, choice helmet, just in case. Get these items out of my deck. Quick ripening herb. I decide to do the regular Blastoise so that if he decides to Guzma in Wartortle, I can survive. Wartortle only needs 2 energy, and if Meganium gets sent to the active, I can recover it. Since I have an Acerola in hand, I decided to grab another Squirtle so that I could switch out either Blastoise with either Wartortle or Blastoise with blastoise-gx. Dust Island does not affect me. I don't have Guzma. I don't have Switch. Probably a weakness of this deck, but I couldn't really fit much else. Not to mention if Guzma and other switching is rotating in 3 months, but they reprint Acerola and hopefully Lucamine, then I'm not as affected. He's slowly getting up his mucks. He's got the buff padding, but I have Mount Lanakila. I think it is Lanakila because Hawaii does have the E's and I's, and they are distinct. I beacon, I grab Mudkip and the other Blastoise. Unfortunately, my other Squall Blastoise is in the prizes. He now has up 2 Malamar. He can recover lots of energy, which could be an issue. But I am ready for this. Looks like he's charging up his MukTag and his Giratina. Not sure why he decided them over MimiGar. Probably saw that I could deal a lot of damage, wanted higher HP. In comes the Blastoise. In comes the Swampert. The Squall manages to grab 3, and I'm like, ooh, happy day. Powerful draw, get rid of that Cynthia, and I end up getting even more items. Timer Ball, I'm used up. Put that energy from my hand onto that Squirtle so that if I have to Acerola into Blastoise, that's 1 less energy I have to worry about. And I knock out the Giratina. And get the other Blastoise. Woot woot. In comes the Jirachi, and that's when I realized I should have played Mount Lanakila last turn, but I was more worried about the Muck and Alolan Muck with that buff padding. I have 22 cards in deck. I look at 6 of them for my powerful Squall. That's 1/3 of my deck with at least 3 energy in it. He's got another Muck and Alolan Muck. And another good thing about Lucamine, I can recover Mount Lanakila. Koga's Trap. Koga's Trap could be an issue. Buff padding, a non-factor. He uses that to bypass my defenses, and I Acerola. Sorry. I should have rare candied that one up. I admit it. I made a mistake. Now I'll take 200 damage minus defenses if... Okay, make that 150 minus defenses if I forget to... If he decides to switch in his MimiGar. Since Mount Lanakila turned off buff padding, I only need 5 rather than 6 energy. But that's now 5 in my deck. That's about a quarter. And I have Max Potion. Woot. And Lusamine. Yeah, maybe I should have put in 3 Lusamine, 2 Acerola rather than 3 Acerola, 2 Lusamine. Just to ensure that if one Lusamine gets prized, I can still do the loop without it. That could be a change. I'm half expecting Koga's Trap. Yep. And he's charging up MimiGar now. He sees that I have a big hand. I have Brock's Grit, Lusamine, Max Potion, and 2 rare candies. Okay, now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6. 5. Yeah, I now have 5. 4. Yeah, I managed to reduce my hands to be 200 damage. I get 3 energy with Powerful Squall. I can retreat into the other Blastoise, but I need 1 more energy to knock out the MukTag. And I draw it. I retreat into the other Blastoise, and I attack for all my energy. 300 damage out of 270 HP. This battle is over. That is MimiGar kept down until the end. But he would have only taken 2 prizes off that, and then my other Blastoise would come in and Powerful Squall on a deck of 18 with at least 5 energy. Good odds for me. Next up, we've got a Pikrom Zapdos deck. And I know that Guzma, that's going to be really bad. I got Mount Lenakaila. Now he cannot get his switches as easily without either Silvally-gx or Zeraora-gx. I'm trying to think here. I decided to go for another Squirrel and another Vulpix. Play it safe, get the basics. I do not know if and when he'll Guzma and on what. There's the Guzma. Of course, he goes for the Pokemon with an energy on it. I consider playing that Chikorita, but if he's not going after the support, then I need to get out extra stage 2s. Therefore, I get the Chikorita evolved into Meganium using the Alolan Ninetales. He uses a manual switch, Stellar Wish, not a manual switch, an item switch, draws the Cynthia. He's thinking for quite a bit here. Decides to use Cynthia. He can't Guzma. He needs another switch or an escape rope. Wondrous Tag, Tapu Lele. Probably searching out the Guzma. Yep. Ultra Ball. Discards at least 1 Guzma. Don't know if there's another. Plays the Zeraora-gx to get free retreat, but he needs to attach a lightning energy onto Jirachi in order for that to apply. Out comes Ninetales. Let's grab a rare candy and a timer ball. Energy where it needs to go. Evolution where it needs to go. Timer ball. 1 heads. Let's grab out the big tanky GX. Because I see that Pikrom. It can deal 150 plus 30 for 1 Electro Power. Or it can just go for the GX attack onto the regular Blastoise. Vulpix. Make sure that Blastoise is ready. Escape Rope. Saw it coming. I decided to switch in Big Blastoise to tank it up since I'd only take 50 damage. Probably a bad move because now my bench is cluttered with 2 Vulpix and a Ninetales. Thunderous Assault. I get out a second energy. Quick Ripening Herb. Powerful Squall gets 1 energy, put it onto itself for later. Almost made a mistake with that max potion. And there we go. Lusamine can only grab the Cynthia, but I do kind of need the Cynthia. That Pikrom now has 2 energy on it. Can energy switch for a third or manual attach. Here's the Guzma. In comes the other Blastoise. Electro Power, he's knocked it out. And taking an energy with it. I probably should have Brock's Grit this turn. I wasn't thinking as straight. I was more afraid of the Tagbolt-gx attack knocking out my Meganium because that would break the combo. Yeah, I definitely should have Brock's Grit that turn. Because without Swampert, draws are slow. And he's at 22 cards in deck. Make that 21. Soon 20. And I'm at 31. I'm behind by 1/3. Switch again. Pikrom comes out. He manually attaches onto Jirachi. Now it can free retreat. Vulpix goes down. He attached onto Eevee. I bring out my Blastoise. I naturally drew the other Meganium. Let's play it. And use that Meganium to get out the Blastoise. We got it. Powerful Squall, 1 energy. And now I Brock's Grit. Probably should have done that earlier. I wouldn't have had to return the Vulpix as well. Escape Rope. I chose the Vulpix. One prize card against 2. He took a while. He chose the Jirachi. He can switch into whatever he wants. 17 cards in deck against 35, and he got the Thunder Mountain, which can be used currently with the Jolteon. Instead, he goes for the 1 prize trade. I got the Swampert, but I did not get the Mudkip yet. Mount Lanakyla to replace that Thunder Mountain. 2 energy were got by a powerful Squall, so let's take out that Zapdos. Pikrom is in. He can only deal me 170 damage max, but I don't know if he realizes it. He has to go for 2 Electro Power in order to knock me out. Volkner can definitely get him 1, but instead he goes for a switch. Not an Electro Power. He went for a switch. Full blitzed, 120 damage. That would be a 2-shot if I didn't have the max potion. Play the other Squirtle. Play the Cynthia. 1 energy from hand, 3 from deck. Rocket Splash, 60, 120, 180, 240, and 1 energy to spare. Rare Candy, Choice Helmet, and another Vulpix. Choice Helmet, best part of this. And I have Acerola to boot. So next turn, I can Acerola the Blastoise, put that Squirtle up active, evolve the active Squirtle into Blastoise, and place the other Squirtle, the returned Squirtle, back onto the bench. Here comes the Coco Prism Star. Not really any good targets for it, though. The only Pokemon that can really try to use the energy is Tapu Lele, and he's out of energy in his deck to get the second attack cost. Out comes the Jolteon. I recognize that it's Swift Run GX. I can't damage it this turn. Yeah, I should have gone for the Acerola. And I do. Quick Wrapping Herb. And I put the Choice Helmet on it, put the Hand Energy on it. Decided against playing the other Squirrel just in case of a Guzma. But if he Guzmas, he wants to bring in that Ninetales so that he can get the 2-prize win. I just need 1 prize. You got to switch. Ten cards in his deck, 27 in mine. I need at least 1 energy to attack, and I can KO anything in his entire deck. He decides to send out Zeraora GX. Volkner, he's looking for another item out of 10 cards. Rescue Stretcher. He wants his Pikrom back. But doesn't matter. I got the energy. If I get the energy, game over. I got the energy. Game over. Wanted to show him this loop just in case he wanted to check my deck count up. Out. And game over. This is a kind of slow deck, but with a huge payoff of tankiness and never dying. Here's the basic deck build again. And I might recommend replacing 1 Acerola with 1 Lusamine. You want to lead Vulpix, get out all your Pokemon using the Ninetales and Meganium. You want to stall them out. You want to whittle them down. You want to never deck out. You want to never give up a prize. And trust me, it's really hard when they have to deal over 250, 280, 310 damage in 1 hit, barring anything that evades abilities or tools. Huge setup, huge payoff.